This video is for Homework and Mastery 1.4, Section 4.3 in your textbook, Simplifying Fractional Expressions. What we need to remember with fractions is that we can write things in their prime factors, and we look at things that are common in the numerator and denominator. Whatever is common in their numerator and denominator, we can cancel out. We can also multiply the numerator and denominator by the exact same thing to get what we call an equivalent fraction. So for example, we want to multiply the numerator and denominator of 2/5 by 3 to find an equivalent fraction. So what we're going to do is literally take 2 times 3 and 5 times 3, and we get 6/15. So 2/5 is equivalent to 6/15. We want to do the same thing by multiplying the numerator and denominator of 2/5 by 4x. When we do so, I take 2 times 4x and get 8x, and I take 5 times 4x and get 20x. Therefore, 2/5 and 8x over 20x are equivalent fractions. Here I want to write 4/7 as an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 21x. What I have to do is I have to figure out what can I multiply 7 by to get 21x. Whatever I multiply 7 by to get 21x, I must also multiply the 4 by. And that's why I've added these question marks here. What am I going to multiply numerator and denominator by? Well, to go from 7 to 21, I need to multiply by 3, and I need to multiply by 3x because I now have an x. So I'm going to multiply the numerator and denominator by 3x. When I do so, 4 times 3x will give me 12x. 7 times 3x will give me 21x. Now, 4/7 and 12x over 21x are equivalent fractions. When we want to reduce a fraction to lowest terms, what we're doing is essentially the very opposite. We're wanting to find what factors will go into what exact same number is common in both numerator and denominator, other than 1, and reduce that fraction by that. How we do that is we write the numerator and denominator of the fraction as a product of its prime factors. Any factor that appears in both the numerator and denominator is a common factor, and we write the common factors as the equivalent fraction 1/1, and then we multiply back together. For example, 63 over 81. The first thing we want to do is write it out as factors. Well, 63 is the same thing as 9 times 7. 81 is the same thing as 9 times 9. Now if you notice, 9s are common, and I can cross out the 9s, and those become a 1. So now 1 times 7 is 7, and 1 times 9 is 9. So 63 over 81 simplifies into 7/9. Let's look at another example. Negative 64 over 28. Well, 64 can be written as 4 over 16, and 28 can be written as 4 over 7. So I reduce the 4's to 1/1, and I now have 16 over 7. Notice my negative sign is still there. So negative 64 over 28 reduces into negative 16 over 7. One more example. This one has variables. 21y over 24y squared. Let's write it out in its factor form. 21 is the same thing as 3 times 7 times y. 24 is 3 times 2 times 2 times 2 y times y. Now notice, I have a 3 in common, and I also have a y in common. So I can cross those out, and those each become a 1. Now whenever I look at this, I have left a 7 on the numerator. I have 3 2's and a y left on the denominator. So whenever I multiply that back together, I have left a 7 over 8y. So 21y over 24y squared reduces, or simplifies, into 21y over 24y squared simplifies into 7 over 8y. Again, what we're trying to do is find out what do they have in common and simplify them into the very lowest terms. So if there is still a number that will divide into both of them, is common in both of them, we need to take that out. We want the only thing that will go into both of the numbers to be 1. Also, if there are any variables that are the same, we want to cross those out as well. If you need help, please let one of us know.